Hey everyone, welcome to class 3 of our 12-week Kickstart series. Today we're going to be teaching you how to master your next open house. Let's go. So here's what we'll be going through today. To start off with, we'll talk about what is an open house, going on to who does it benefit, how to schedule, preview the house, advertising the open, what's the purpose, what to take with you, follow up, and follow up. Okay, so what is an open house? Well, aside from the definition of an open house or what you already know about an open house is really both an opportunity for you to sell the home for your client or to help sell the home for another agent's client, and it's a way for you to generate leads. So in selling the home for your client, it gives you an opportunity to be in the home when buyers come through the property so that you're dictating what they're hearing and what they know about the property, and you're not relying on their agent who doesn't necessarily know everything you do about the property, coming up with answers on their own or their best guesses just to provide an answer to their clients. So whether buyers are walking through the open house alone or whether they're walking through the open house with their realtor, it's a great opportunity for you to dictate what information is being given to the clients. If the agent is not providing the right information or is assuming things, think of and find a tactful way to explain to them the differences between how they see it and how it really is, or what the real information is. This is important so that you don't have agents saying things or giving information to their clients that might deter them away from wanting to purchase the property. This isn't something you can control on a daily basis, but at least while you're there at the open house, you have the opportunity to control what information is being given if you're providing service to whoever's walking through your property, as long as you can. If there are multiple people inside the open house, you may not always be able to converse or um, fact check everything that the buyer's agent is saying. But if you do the best that you can to have conversations with the people coming through the open house, stay close and within an earshot from what they're saying, it'll give you that opportunity to dictate the information that's being given. Not only that, when you list a home as having an open house, it's jumping to the top of search results in Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin to show that there's activity on that property, that things are happening, there's an event happening with that property. A lot of times people are also using the search filter of open houses just to see what's around, to see what houses they can look at. It's another opportunity for you to get in front of a buyer who may otherwise not have seen or noticed the property. It's also a great opportunity for you to generate leads. If you're advertising the property and you're marketing the property in the open house and you have buyers coming in who may have just seen it online, don't necessarily have a realtor yet or someone that they're committed to, this is your opportunity to show them how a real estate agent could be beneficial to them during their home search process. Make sure that you have all of the documents that you need at the home. Make sure you have the listing. Make sure you have all the comps, anything that you can think of to provide excellent service to whoever walks through the door as if they were your own client will give you that opportunity to generate those leads. This is another reason why agents will often do open houses for other agents. If the house is in a location where you would love to find buyers or market yourself, then that's when you would do something like that. You you obviously want to help them sell the house, and that's going to be the selling point for the listing agent, that they have another agent, another body to hold the home open to potentially generate leads for the seller. But it's also your opportunity to generate leads in the markets or in the communities in your market that you want to be in. So, like I mentioned, an open house doesn't just benefit you, it also benefits the listing agent and any buyers. It benefits the listing agent by providing them more traction, more buyers to come through the house, more marketing, free marketing that you're doing for the open house. It also gives the agent who's holding the open house the opportunity to get instant feedback for the seller. Oftentimes, agents will walk their buyers through the property, and although you request feedback on the home, it doesn't always happen. So in this case, while you're at the home, you have an opportunity to ask questions, figure out if the buyers are interested in the property. If they aren't interested in the property, what is the reason why they aren't interested in the property, or what feedback do they have for the seller that might make the property a more desirable property to purchase. For the buyer, it offers them an opportunity to view the home without any kind of commitment. They can just show up, see the property, walk through. They don't have to call an agent. They don't have to bring their agent. If they're not committed to an agent, they don't have to feel like they're having to be committed to that agent because they took them through the open house. It just gives them a chance to see homes freely without any kind of obligation or commitment. Now, like I said on the last slide, this is your opportunity to take on that buyer to prove to them your value. But it does benefit the buyer in a sense that they don't have to be committed to somebody. They can just walk through the property if they want. This also provides buyers with education about not just this property, but properties in the area, a reference to what properties in the area might look like, what properties look like at the price point that the home is listed at, and and if you're providing value throughout the open house to everyone walking through the door, then it's going to provide education as far as what else is on the market, what are price per square foot's going for around the area, and many other things that you can think of as conversation pieces with any buyers who walk through your open house. You can schedule open houses in three ways. The first way would be to go in-house, either properties that you have listed personally or properties that someone on your team or within your brokerage are listing that you might be able to hold the open house for them with their permission. You could do open houses for other brokerages as well. Here in San Antonio, we have a real estate thread on Facebook where agents will often post open house opportunities, ways for you to show their home, hold an open house for their listing, and they're already giving you approval to do so. But make sure to check with your broker because your broker or brokerage may not allow you to hold open houses for other agents at other brokerages. For sale by owner open houses are a lot more rare, mainly because it's a little more difficult to make this happen. But what you want to do is go onto whatever platforms you like to use, such as Redfin, Zillow, or Realtor, and use a search filter for sale by owner. You'll find every for sale by owner listing that's on that platform, which will also list the seller's phone number because they're the ones listing it. They're essentially acting as the listing agent. So you don't have to be scared or fear calling the seller. They've essentially decided that they're willing to take on the role of a listing agent. So you can call them directly and find out what the status is on the property, ask them any other pertinent questions, ask them if they plan on having an open house at their property to create some more traction and create some more showings. If not, try to talk them into it. Try to explain to them the benefits of holding an open house, how it could maximize the marketing for them to be able to sell their property. If you're holding an open house for one of your listings, you probably already know everything you need to know about the house. But if you're doing an open house for another agent or another brokerage or for sale by owner, make sure to do a preview of the home. That way you have a good understanding of the characteristics of the home, the layout of the home, features of the home that you might want to showcase, or talking points about the home that you think might be important when you have buyers come through the door during your open house. While you're there, take notes of the house and the neighborhood and think of ways that you can sell that house. How can you promote that house and how can you entice people to want to live in that neighborhood or inside that particular home? Another good idea is to take some video or some photos of the home and the neighborhood and any amenities center that might be in the subdivision. This is going to help you with your marketing. Sometimes you can get permission from the listing agent to be able to use their photos for your marketing materials, but you also want to probably do some marketing for yourself. Create a video of yourself showcasing the open house that's to come this weekend or whenever you're holding it. Create a video that showcases the neighborhood, showcases the things around the neighborhood in the community, stores, cafes, shops, restaurants. Anything that you can do with your name and your picture or your image on it is going to benefit you more than the listing agent. and it's going to produce the same results. You're going to see people coming through the open house because of your marketing, whether you market yourself and the property or whether you're just marketing the property. So it's a better idea to market yourself and the property. Let's talk about marketing the open house. One thing you can do to start off with is go live or do a video tour of the property when you do your preview. This is going to help you not just to have that content to refer back to for notes on the property or to see things you might not have had a lot of time to look at while you were there on the video, and it allows you to post this video as marketing material so that people are starting to get more engaged with the property, starting to recognize or notice the property if they haven't already seen it on the platforms. Of course, you should be using social media and YouTube to promote the property. Images, videos, stories, horizontals, verticals, anything that you can get while you're at the preview that will help your marketing is going to benefit you and the seller. Also think about some hands-on activities that you can do to advertise the property. Door knocking is something that seems to create a lot of buzz around a property that's going to have an open house. Talking to neighbors and letting them know that you're going to have an open house. Maybe they didn't even know the home was for sale if they're not constantly on the real estate platforms. Let them know that neighbors typically like to choose their own neighbors. So if they know anyone who might want to live in the area or have ever had any friends or family over who have commented or mentioned how nice it would be to live in the neighborhood, let them know that the open house is going to be available whatever day it's available, whatever times it's available. Tell them to come on in and preview the property for their friends and family or send their friends and family by to look at the home. The easiest way to market the open house is to let everyone in your circle know. Everyone in your brokerage, any colleagues of yours, anyone on your team, anyone that is on any Facebook or other groups that you're a part of, post it, put it out there, let everybody know you're having an open house this weekend. Here are the times. Let them know some key features of the home. Let them know, invite them to bring their clients by or to send their clients through to take a look at the property without any kind of commitment. As I mentioned on the first slide earlier, there are two purposes to an open house. The first priority being to sell the home for the seller. That's number one. You're doing something as a favor to the listing agent by holding that open house and bringing in more showings and more buyers to see the property. Secondarily, your objective is to generate leads. It's an amazing opportunity for you to generate leads. These are people who are actively in the market to buy a home. So if they don't have an agent or aren't committed to an agent already, and you provide them the value that they're looking for out of an agent, that's a great opportunity for you to get a buyer who you already know is interested in buying a home. And they are a hot buyer because they're actively actually looking at homes. So what all should you be taking to the open house? Let's start off with a sign-in sheet. The sign-in sheet is a great way to get contact information, not just from potential buyers or unrepresented buyers, but also from agents. So you can follow up with the agents or the potential buyers, and you can find out what the feedback was on the property, what their clients thought about the property, whether or not they want to put an offer on the property, or if there's anything else that you can do to help them make that decision to ultimately help the seller sell the home as fast as possible. Now, if you're going to be talking about real estate to potential buyers, you'll also want to have an IABS disclosure form available for them to review or initial if, moving on to the next point, they decide to put an offer on the property that day. Make sure to have a purchase agreement with you, a full offer packet available with not just the purchase agreement, but also any addendum that might be necessary for pretty much any buyer. Have a neighborhood report with you to showcase the amenities in the neighborhood or the recreational facilities in the neighborhood, restaurants, cafes, things like that. A good resource to use is list reports. You do have to link up with a lender or another professional to be able to use the service for free, but lenders typically are okay with partnering up with agents to be marketed through list reports. Have a packet of all of the nearby listings. If you get non-represented buyers or buyers who aren't yet committed to their agent, they don't happen to like the property at the open house, you can have a great conversation with them about what they're looking for, how long they've been looking, are they wanting to stay in the area, and if so, here are all of the other homes that are on the market right now, and you can tell them a little bit about each one of them homes Or maybe they've already seen these homes online and they were actually curious about a couple of these properties. You're showing them through the packet. Now you can break down those properties a little bit better for them. And again, take that opportunity to showcase your value as a real estate agent. And you have to get people into the home, right? So besides the marketing you're doing online, the pre-marketing that you're doing, the videos that you're creating, the posts that you're making, you also want to bring all of the open house signs that you need. Look at the map before you do the open house or even during your preview. Decide where you're going to be putting open house signs, entrances to the subdivisions, or corners of the same street as where the open house will be located. A couple streets down, a couple streets back, wherever you think is the high traffic areas where people are driving the most or driving through the neighborhood the most, put an open house sign there with directional arrows leading them to the open house. This is going to help you attract buyers or potential buyers who may not be represented, who may have thought about purchasing soon but haven't reached out to anybody. But since they see an open house sign, maybe it's a literal sign to them. I guess that wouldn't be literal. That would be an emotional sign or a psychological sign that it's time for them to look at houses. So have your open house signs with you in addition to all of the other things we just mentioned. Now, we've mentioned it before a couple times, but it's super important to follow up after your open house. Follow up with all the buyer's agents who stop by the property and find out what the feedback is. Again, find out what the interest level is of their client to purchase their home. Follow up with the colleagues that you have that went through the home, any broker, any agents inside your brokerage, any team members on your team, anyone who came through the house, any of the professionals that came through the house. Make sure to follow up with them, get their feedback, and figure out what the sentiment is about the property. Follow up with buyers. Use that sign-in sheet that you had filled out by every buyer who walked through the property. Contact all of the buyers. If they didn't include their buyer's agent's phone number, contact directly. Follow up with the buyers from your sign-in sheet. If any buyers came in without representation or without any kind of commitment to representation or straight up just gave you their phone number or email address on the sign-in sheet, then that's a clear indication that you need to be calling that client, potential client, as a follow-up as soon as the open house is over. Find out what their interest levels are or what the sentiment is to them about this property. If any neighbors came through the open house based off of your door knocking or your door hangers, make sure to follow up with them as well. You should have already gotten their contact information on your sign-in sheet, but this is just another category of people that you should be following up with. So if after your open houses, you're following up with all of the buyer's agents or your colleagues, all of the buyers who came through and gave you their contact information, all of the neighbors who came through the open house, you're either going to get a contract put together, or at the very least, you're going to find out some constant feedback about the property from everyone who looked at the open house this weekend. You'll sometimes see agents holding mega open houses where they'll have snow cone trucks or food trucks or a big barbecue or party or something at a property. Typically, these are beneficial for properties that are in the much higher price points. But keep in mind that these homes in the higher price points will have longer days on market. It's also going to cost you a lot more money in marketing to be able to put on a mega open house like this. So be sure that you are completely prepared and you have all your plans in place to be able to carry out this mega open house to benefit you in the best way possible. Don't spend all the time, money, and energy on planning and executing this mega open house and then not follow up with the people who came through the house. Now, although this means that it will cost you more money for your marketing and that this home typically is on the market for a longer period of time than other lower priced homes, it is going to benefit you. It's going to provide you with bigger results. You're going to have a lot more people coming through the open house. You're going to have a lot more people enjoying their time and seeing what it's like to have the house full of people, entertaining people, and it's going to encourage them to want to purchase a home instead of somebody else. Great job making it through the class today. I know that we went through things a little bit quickly, so this is your opportunity to ask us any questions or leave any comments or feedback for us and the class that we might be able to use to get better. If you have questions about anything we covered today, or any comments about things we covered today, or any other things that you want to know about or need clarification on, please feel free to reach out to us. You can easily leave a comment down below or send us a direct message or phone call, and we'd be very happy to help you out. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the class today. I hope that you gained a lot of information and new ideas. I hope you're motivated to hold an open house soon, if not this weekend. Make sure to join us every Monday for a live session at 12 p.m. and subscribe to get notified of our next free class, which is going to be going over financing options. We'll see you there.